King Tyrant, they said, was forged from iron and malice. His decrees were etched in blood, his laughter a chilling echo in the halls of the palace. He ruled the kingdom of Viridia with an iron fist, crushing dissent and rewarding sycophancy. Justice was a foreign concept, replaced by the whim of a tyrant. One scorching afternoon, a wandering sage, old and weathered like the ancient stones of the kingdom, sought audience with Tyrant. He carried no riches, no armies, only wisdom etched on his wrinkled face. He wished to advise the king, guide him towards a path of righteousness. Tyrant, basking in the adoration of his court, saw only an opportunity to amuse himself. He questioned the sage with scorn, his words barbed and cruel. He mocked the sage's simple attire, his quiet voice, his apparent lack of power. He finished his tirade with a guttural laugh, spitting on the ground near the sage's feet. The sage's eyes, old as they were, burned with an unexpected fire. In a voice that resonated with unforeseen power, he spoke. "You, who revel in cruelty and mock the sacred, shall learn the meaning of empathy. You shall walk in shoes you have never known, and perhaps only then will understanding dawn." A blinding light erupted, swallowing Tyrant whole. Screams echoed, then silence. When the light subsided, where once stood the imposing figure of King Tyrant, now stood a woman. She was beautiful, undeniably so. Her features, previously hardened by arrogance and rage, were now softened, delicate. Her broad shoulders were narrower, her thick neck slender. She wore the same regal robes, but now they hung awkwardly on her, revealing curves where once there were only angles. Confusion warred with terror in her newly formed eyes. She reached up, her fingers trembling as they traced the outline of her jaw, the curve of her cheekbone. A choked sob escaped her lips. She was trapped, an alien in her own skin. The court, paralyzed by shock, watched as the woman, the former king, stumbled, her legs unfamiliar with the weight of her body. The sage, his face impassive, simply turned and walked away, melting into the bustling streets of Viridia. The transformation was more than just physical. As the days turned into weeks, the woman, tentatively calling herself Thera, found her own nature changing. The brutal instincts that had driven Tyrant faded, replaced by a sensitivity she had never known. The world, once perceived through a lens of power and control, now shimmered with nuances she had been blind to. She saw the fear in the eyes of her subjects, the desperation in their pleas. She understood the pain that her father, the previous king, had always attempted to shield her from. The weight of her actions, of Tyrant's actions, settled heavily on her shoulders. The physical discomfort of her new body, the aches, the unfamiliar sensitivities, paled in comparison to emotional turmoil. She was forced to confront the consequences of her cruelty, to empathize with those she had once considered beneath her. One evening, she ventured out, disguised in simple robes, and walked among her people. She saw the poverty, the despair, the lingering fear of the tyrant who was now she. She heard whispers of hope, now that Tyrant was gone, replaced by, well, no one knew exactly what. The turning point came when she stumbled upon a young woman, weeping over the grave of her brother, a soldier executed for a minor transgression. Thera, overwhelmed by a wave of grief and guilt, knelt beside her and offered comfort. In that shared moment of sorrow, a profound change occurred within her. The last vestiges of Tyrant's cruelty dissolved, replaced by a genuine compassion. Thera sought the sage. She traveled for days, following whispers and rumors, until she finally found him meditating by a secluded waterfall. She prostrated herself before him, clutching his feet, tears streaming down her face. "Forgive me," she begged, her voice choked with emotion. "Forgive the cruelty of Tyrant. I am no longer him. I understand now. I understand the pain I inflicted. Please, I beg you, restore me, but only if you believe I have learned." The sage remained silent for a long moment, his eyes closed. Then, he spoke, his voice gentle. "The transformation has served its purpose. The lesson has been learned. True change comes from within. The body is merely a vessel." He did not offer to reverse the spell. He did not turn her back into Tyrant. He merely opened his eyes and looked at her, truly looked at her. What he saw wasn't a king, trapped in a woman's body, but a woman, forged in the fires of hardship and understanding. A woman capable of compassion, of justice, of true leadership. Thera ruled Viridia then not as a king, but as a queen. She wasn't seen as the same tyrant Tyrant anymore, but a gentle and compassionate woman. She reformed the laws, abolished the cruel practices, and ushered in an era of peace and prosperity. It was not the body that made Thera a good ruler, but the heart. Her story was whispered through the ages, a testament to the transformative power of empathy and the enduring potential for change, even in the most hardened of hearts. The kingdom of Viridia blossomed, not under the iron fist of a king, but the gentle hand of a queen who understood the true meaning of power, the power to serve.